Okay, welcome back. We're going to do the Trammel base plate drawing for the top portion of the assembly. So we're going to go ahead and do our new design. First thing we're going to start off with is a sketch. We're going to start off with this bottom plane here. And we start off and we know the overall dimensions from the drawing is overall it's 4.25 by 4.25. So we'll go into with the rectangle tool. We'll get that started at the origin. Go ahead and put 4.25, tab over 4.25, and that gives us our initial square. And now what we're going to do is, because we have two features, we're going to do two things. We're going to do a quick rectangle in the bottom left-hand corner. Again, we're going to be doing some of the dimensioning tools, so we'll be able to fix this. So we're just going to put some initial ones. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the line tool to give us this upper notch feature that we are looking for. Again, we're just kind of roughing it in, just have to have the basic things there. So that puts us into there. A couple of things I want to do to trim this up is go into this trim tool and click off that little section there. And then we start identifying and saying like, yep, that kind of looks like what we're talking about. Now let's go ahead and start to clean this up. We know from the bottom that the two sides of this square are, let's see here, 0.406. So I'll go into my, oh, wrong thing, not that. Undo. There we go, good deal. All right, so back into the dimension piece, going from here over to here. Throw this out here as a 0.406. Puts us there, and then we're going to do a second dimension from here to here. Same thing. Going to do the 0.406, and then we know the dimension of this thing is 1.25 by 1.25. So we do dimension from here to there. Gives us our, let's see here, 1.25, and then we know our dimension from here to here is also 1.25. Okay, so that should look familiar for at least that portion. So let's go up here and fix this little guy here. We know that for measurements, the dimension from here to here is going to be 0.5. And then our dimensions from the top to this bottom is going to be 1. Last piece is we need to know that the dimensions from this piece here to this piece here is going to be, let's see here, 1.75. 75. Hit enter. Okay. And so that gives us that rough shape. The last thing we have to do is some holes. So for right now, we're going to go ahead and finish the sketch. And then we are going to go ahead and extrude it. Now we know from our drawing that we are 0.24 inches in thickness. So I'm going to go over to my extrusion, click on that surface there, and then we're going to basically come up that 0.24. Okay, that gives us our basic shape. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and start looking at the holes that we're going to put into this thing. So let's pause for 1 second. Hold on. All right, and I'm back. So now we're going to do an additional sketch. We're going to pick the top surface here, and then in order to make the holes, we're going to create some points that we're going to use to create those holes in the bit. Now we have basically two clusters of holes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 that are sitting over here. 2, 3, 4. And then we have a fifth one that's just up here somewhere. Okay, so now I know where all my holes are. So now let's start doing some dimensioning to get us where we need to go. Okay, so for my measurements, I'm showing the distance for this upper left-hand point from the point to this top here is 0.375. 0.375. And then I also have the distance from the side to here as being 0.375 as well. Okay, so now we know that since that hole has turned black, we know it's fully constrained. So now we're going to add some additional dimensions to some of the other holes. So from here, from there to this hole, we know this is going to be 1.25 from my measurement. Okay, and then we also know from this hole to here is also 1.25. And so keep in mind this procedure. We're going to do the same thing. Oh, what did I do? Undo. Undo. All right, let's change this to 1.25 instead of the 125 that I put in. Okay, so now we have those dimensions. So what we're going to do is start dialing this thing in using this horizontal and vertical constraints. So we want to constrain this guy and this guy, right? And then we want to constrain this guy and that guy. And then we're going to connect this guy and that guy. And then also this guy and that one. And so now I'm showing all 4 holes as constraint. So this other array down here in the right-hand column or right-hand corner is going to be basically the same setup. So I'm going to switch back into my dimension tool. I want to go from that point down is going to be my 0.375. Also going to go from this line over to the hole. All right, I mucked that one up, so let's undo that guy. Undo one more time. Let's try this one more time. So the distance from here to here, I'm going to have the same value, the 0.375. And then I also know that from this point to this point, I want that value to be 1.25. And then I want the value from this point to this point to be 1.25 as well. Now I can start using my constraints to start dialing this thing in. Since I have these fixed, or that one fixed, I can say I want to horizontally have these in the same line. I want to vertically have these in the same line. I want this guy to be horizontal with this one, and I want him to be horizontal with this vertical. So now I'm showing each of these is fully constrained, right? All right, so last hole is we want to go here. Let's take a look. It is from a distance perspective from the bottom. It is 2.875. Okay, and then the last bit is we need to locate it from the side, and my measurement has it at 0.875. So from here to here, have that at 0.875. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish the sketch. And so at this point, I have my base plate, and then I also have each of the hole locations identified. And we're going to close this particular video out, and we'll come back and we're going to go ahead and make those holes.